Hi. I had a dream on January 4th, 2020, and because of a certain element of the dream about Valentine's Day, I wanted to go ahead and share that with you as I believe this is from the Lord. So here's my dream, and then I'll give my interpretation. My husband and I, and a few others, were sitting on some big boulders, and we were outside, and what was in front of us was pretty much our local area. I saw some little light flakes of snow, and it was sunny. It was a nice, winter's day, and we were just resting there. And so to the right of my husband, though, was this large glass partition. Now, I had some pictures to go with this that would help you visually know what I'm talking about, but I can't seem to update or upload my dream from my iPad, so I'm doing this on my phone, and you're only getting this picture, so I apologize for that. But imagine, if you will, this huge aquarium that you walk, how you walk into, and you see these walls of glass in front of you. So my husband was leaning up against this large wall of glass, and this glass went basically all the way north and south and all the way up into the sky. So this was a complete fixture that he was just kind of leaning against, and I could see on the other side of this glass partition that there were horrific storms, really, really bad storms. In fact, in my dream, even, they reminded me of an Arctic storm Elsa that occurred just a few years earlier in this winter of 2017, 2018. And they had shown this on some episodes of the Deadliest Catch show. And that's, in my dream, I thought of that, and it's like, oh, these are these horrific storms. And I could see behind my husband, over the glass, I could see huge ships that were just being washed down the water, and big, like, construction equipment, everything that was big and heavy and large was just being washed away. But my feeling in this dream was not really anything other than, well, I'm safe. It's amazing, but we're safe here. And this partition, this water, you could see, was way above my husband's head. I mean, it was way up there. And so I knew that, it didn't seem like it would take much. Kind of like when you are looking into these aquariums and you're looking at these fish, and they're right there. They're right there in front of you, but they can't hurt you because you have this partition. So that's how I felt. Now, the next part of the dream is interesting as well. So my husband gave me some mail that he had found, and in my mind I was thinking that the storm had blown the mail to us. So I could see, this is kind of strange, in one of the window envelopes I could see cash, and I thought, well, that's kind of strange that someone is mailing cash. And I knew it wasn't for me because the mail was not for me. In fact, the mail was to someone in Indianapolis, which we live close to. And my thought was, well, maybe I can just deliver this. Well, another piece of mail, and this is the significant piece, was a Valentine's Day card. And I knew the card was like for a husband, wife, and it was almost a small book, whereas if you opened it up, you could see a couple different handwritten messages in there. And even in one place, they had erased one of the words and wrote my name. And in my dream, I'm thinking, oh, maybe this is God's confirmation telling me that I need to deliver this mail. It was sunny out, and we weren't having any snow, just the flurries, so I thought I could do that. So that's the end of the dream. Okay, so my interpretation, and I prayed about this because I knew this was from God. That glass partition kind of sealed the deal for me. So when we're sitting on the rocks, we're actually resting on the Lord. Jesus is the rock of our salvation, and we were resting on him, knowing that we were safe. I don't believe that this is a transformation. I just think perhaps, and I'm guessing, that this storm will occur on the East Coast because it was on the right side of my husband. It wasn't a wall that went over us, or we were not enclosed in a bubble where we were protected. It was just on one side of my husband. The rest of our current, where we were looking at, was just our local everyday weather. So this storm that's coming on the east is very damaging. It's going to cost a lot of people. People are going to lose money in this. That's kind of what I saw from the mail and the equipment that's going down. It actually reminded me of the boat that I saw in the movie The Finest Hours, with Christopher Pine, and as the Coast Guard that went out to rescue. True story. It's an excellent movie. And that's the kind of damage that I was seeing with people on board. And that's what I could see. And not only will the people lose the money, but the mail also reminded me, if I'm going to deliver it, perhaps it's pointing to me giving a message of some sort. Perhaps the Lord is directing me, because the Valentine's Day card was a husband and wife, and Jesus is our bridegroom. So perhaps he is directing us that at some point we're going to be giving a message, possibly before Valentine's Day. Now, it could be this year. I find that interesting that I had that dream and next month is Valentine's Day, but it could also be a different year. So that's my dream and my interpretation, and I welcome your comments and ideas and thoughts. There you go.